Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Lee from Bukit Mertajam, the northern part of Peninsular Malaysia. And in this session, I'm going to share with you UASA, or what you call the Ujian Akhir Sesi Academic, or we just say UASA. And for this session, I'm going to discuss with you, I'm going to share with you Bahasa Melayu, the Malay language. And you know that UASA is held at the end of the academic year. And today I will discuss with you, I will tell you about what to expect and actually what to know, what you should know before sitting for the UASA. And you know that students sit for UASA and they start at year 4, year 5 and year 6. So today this session is Bahasa Melayu UASA for year 4, year 5 and year 6 for SJKC, SK and SJKT. So the Tamil primary schools, Chinese primary schools and national primary schools. And the format first. So understand that the Bahasa Melayu paper has 4 what we call sections or bahagian. So you have bahagian A or section A, section B, section C, section D. A total of 4 sections altogether. And it is purely based on our writing and understanding, or what you call reading. So of course reading includes vocabulary, sentence structure and grammar. So this is what I'm going to discuss now. And for this session, I will only focus on bahagian A or section A. So if you look at the board, the format of the paper and the marking scheme. So section A is Tata Bahasa and Pemahaman Petikan, which is grammar and comprehension. Petikan means the passage. That will be 10 marks and 10 questions, objective or what we call multiple choice questions, MCQ. Section B is on grammar, tata bahasa, and pemahaman, so it's almost the same. The only difference is that section A is objective, whereas section B is your own writing. You write out the answer on your own. Section C is the writing part. So you have the penulisan perenggan. Perenggan is actually a paragraph. So writing paragraph. That is 10 marks. As you can see, this is also 10 marks. Comprehension, grammar and comprehension 10 marks, so a total of 30 marks already. And following that, you have penulisan karangan. So you need to write 1 essay, and that would be 20 marks. So this will be a total of 50 marks. So when we actually mark your paper and we want to start grading, we will have to calculate the percentage. So 50 marks is the total, but the percentage is 100%. So what we do is that once the paper has been marked, for example, a student gets 32 correct. 32 correct, we will multiply by 2. So the student gets 64%. If a student gets 37 correct or 37 marks, we will do the same thing. We multiply by 2 and we get 74%. So that student gets 74%. And for now, I will just concentrate on bahagian A. My focus will be on bahagian A for this video. I do not aim to complete the whole explanation, the explanation of the whole paper, A, B, C, D, because it is going to be very long, and I think it is hard to focus, even myself. If you within a short period of time, you tell me so many different things, I myself will lose focus. I myself may not get everything. So I would rather split into different videos, and each video I concentrate on one area only. So for this video, I will focus on and concentrate on bahagian A, which is tata bahasa dan pemahaman petikan. This one. So as I mentioned earlier, 10 marks and 10 questions objective MCQ, multiple choice questions, A, B, C, D. Tata bahasa grammar, you will have around 3 to 5 questions. And for this pemahaman dan petikan, which is comprehension and passages, you will get around between 5 and 7 questions. And for the pemahaman petikan, which is comprehension of passages, we have 2. One is teks tunggal. Teks tunggal means a single passage. Questions are based on the single passage. And you have another one which is called teks pelbagai, which normally is 2 passages. One passage and one something like a bubble map or a graph or just boxes of main points. Whereas the top one is the elaborate version, which means a real passage. But we call it bahan 1. Okay, bahan 1 for the passage, bahan 2 for the graph or boxes where we usually write the main points. And bahan 1 and bahan 2, both these passages are related. They are talking about the same thing. For example, the passage could be about playing games as a way to relax or to de-stress. Okay, so maybe they will mention a person's name, he loves to play games, so after school he spends time doing this, playing badminton, or jogging, and he does it with his neighbor, sometimes with his family, and so on. So the main theme is about playing badminton or jogging. And then bahan 2 is maybe about what do you call the advantages or the benefits of doing exercise or the benefits of playing badminton. And then you have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 benefits. So the bahan 2 is related to bahan 1. They are talking about the same thing. It is presented in a different format. One is in writing, one is in boxes and in short sentences or just in phrases. So that is called the teks pelbagai. Now I go to tata bahasa, grammar. The grammar part, 3 to 5 questions are based on grammar. And it is the focus is on morphology. In English, we call it morphology. So it's actually an English word, but used in Bahasa Melayu as morphology. Now, morphology means to say word form. You know that in English as well as Bahasa Melayu, we have what you call word forms. For Bahasa Melayu, for example, the word is baik, B-A-I-K. So the word is the base form is baik. So it could be membaiki, it could be kebaikan, it could be dibaiki. So that is one part of morphology. Bahasa Melayu where imbuhan plays a part. So it could be ber, it could be ter, it could be di, it could be mem-i, mempercayai or memperi, or me-i, mekan. Example, menaiki, menaikkan. What is the difference between menaiki and menaikkan? Are they the same? No. So menaiki, menaikkan, or kenaikan, which is an abstract noun, nama terbitan. So you have to have understanding, and you have to know this part of grammar, imbuhan. And imbuhan berdasarkan konteks ayat. It is not simply knowing the imbuhan only. That, for example, jalan, so it should be berjalan. But it could be menjalankan, it could be menjalani, it could be perjalanan. So which is the correct answer? So you have to base it on the context of the sentence. Meaning to say, in the sentence, which should it be? Should it be memasuki or memasukkan or kemasukan or dimasukkan? Which is correct? So that is called morphology. Now morphology also involves spelling, how you spell the word. So spelling plays an important role too, ejaan. So another part of tata bahasa or grammar which you have to know is called syntaxis, bahasa Melayu. English is called synthesis, synthesis. So actually the word synthesis has been used or borrowed by bahasa Melayu, and then it becomes syntaxis. Actually synthesis or syntaxis is a sentence structure. In bahasa Melayu we call it struktur ayat. So what is sentence structure? In simple terms, teachers like to tell students that, oh, synthesis or syntaxis, struktur ayat, sentence structure. Di mana kepala? Di mana ekor? Di mana perut? So where is the head? Where is the tail? Where is the stomach of the sentence? In other words, the arrangements of the words to form a complete and correct answer grammatically. So in BM we say ayat yang lengkap dan betul dari segi gramatis, grammatically correct. So you ought to have a noun or pronoun as the head, and then you need a verb which is the stomach, and then you need an object. An object could be a pronoun or could be a noun. So it is nama or ganti nama, kata kerja, and an object. The object can be ganti nama, can be nama am. Okay? And the next part is pemahaman petikan. Here you have one passage. From that one passage, questions are asked based on the passage, which could be an article, could be a story. Now, many students, when they hear or when they think that they need to do comprehension or pemahaman, they will feel very confident. They won't have so much stressed. They feel that I'm able to do it. I can do it because looking for answers does not really make the student feel worried. Because they will look at the question. They look at the question. In the question, they look for the word. For example, in the question, there is a word called kebakaran, fire. So they look at kebakaran in the question, and then they look at the passage without reading. They look at the word kebakaran. In the whole sentence, they will look at that sentence on kebakaran. And then they look at the question, and they find the word kebakaran. In the sentence, they will find words that appear in ABCD, and then they select the answers. So the ABCD, only one word will appear in that sentence. And then in that sentence with the kebakaran, maybe there is a word, like jiran, or rumah jiran. Then they look at the question. Oh, there's a rumah jiran. A as the choice. A is the answer. But UASA has become evolved over the years. Examiners and people setting the questions, they know that this is what students do. For comprehension, they don't really comprehend. They don't really understand. But they are very good in finding the answers. Because they look at the question with the word, they look at the sentence, they hunt for the word. And then in that sentence, ABCD, they see ABCD, which word appears in the same line as the question, the word like kemalangan, for example. Then they look at the sentence, they look for the word kemalangan. Oh, this is the one. In this sentence, there are words. Let me see ABCD, which one? Once I see in the sentence, in the kemalangan sentence, there is a word which is the same as either A, B, C, or D. That is the answer. But it is not as simple. It has been made more challenging. So don't think that, it is pemahaman comprehension. I can rest assured. I can get the answer. I'm going to find the answer. No more. Why? Because this question will come up. Benar, So they will ask, below ABCD, which statement is correct? Or which statement is true? Yang mana pernyataan di bawah adalah benar? Or tidak benar? Or semua benar kecuali, except. So all are correct except. So what does this mean? All are wrong except. That means which is the right answer? It means to say, you have to read the whole passage because A has one sentence, B has one sentence, C another sentence appears, D another sentence or statement appears. You have to know 4 statements and look for the statements in the passage. Tell me, can you just look at one sentence? At least you have to look at 4 sentences. And here will be 8 sentences, which is almost maybe 1/4 or 1/3 of the passage. So tell me, do you need to read? You do, yes. So this is the way to ensure that students read the whole passage and not hunt for the answers. So in other words, UASA has become more challenging. Okay? The second one is pemahaman teks pelbagai, meaning to say you have a passage and you have a graph or boxes with main points. And it is written bahan satu. Bahan satu is the passage. Bahan dua is the small graph or could be a pictorial boxes, or bubble maps. And here, these are the 3 types of questions that will come out from the bahan satu, bahan dua. Yes. There could be one sentence, on bahan satu and bahan dua, but based on synonym. That means because they are related, they are talking about the same topic. So the topic could be membaca. So the top topic could be about a person who likes to read, always reads, when she reads, where she goes to borrow books to read or she buys. And then you can see that the word in bahan satu could be a word called pengetahuan because reading increases our knowledge. Pengetahuan is knowledge. So in the second part, bahan 2, the word pengetahuan appears as well. So the question would be, in bahan 1 and bahan 2, what does the word pengetahuan mean? And then maybe pengetahuan, isn't it? So maybe A is kegemaran. Maybe B is pengangkutan. Maybe C is pengalaman. And D is ilmu. And that is your answer. Because pengetahuan is ilmu. Knowledge. And another question will come out on grammar. So it could be grammar, there are so many types of grammar. But the grammar will be based on the 2, bahan 1 and bahan 2. So the grammar part could be penjodoh bilangan, could be bandingan semacam, for example, in bahan 1 and bahan 2, the word buku cerita appears in bahan 1 and bahan 2. So in bahan 1 and bahan 2, what is the penjodoh bilangan for buku cerita? So A, keping, a piece of. B, biji, something that is round things like fruits. C could be kuntum, like a flower, sekuntum bunga. And then D could be buah. And D is the answer. Why? Sebuah buku. 2 buah buku. So for books, we use the word buah. And that would be another question. And that question is based on tata bahasa or grammar. And there is another question on analysis, analisa, where you need to analyze. So maybe the question says bahan 1 and bahan 2. From bahan 1 and bahan 2, we learn that, and then A, B, C, D. They'll give you maybe a sentence. We learn that through reading, our knowledge widens. Okay, melalui membaca, ia dapat meluaskan pengetahuan. And then maybe B, another question, another statement, C, another statement, D, another statement, and then you analyze, yes, this is the one. And then you select that answer. Now, talking about tata bahasa, you know that morphology is word form, pembentukan perkataan dengan penggunaan imbuhan me, ber, ter, di, mekan, mei, like menghadiahkan, menghadiahi. What is the difference? Are they the same? No. Menaiki, menaikkan, same or not? No. Memasuki, memasukkan, same or not? No. Or maybe pean, pembaharuan, or kean, kerajaan. So you have to be very clear about imbuhan, but that's not all. Okay, morphology also is the spelling of the word and structure. Kosakata. What is kosakata? Vocabulary. It's not enough to know grammar. You need to know the meanings of the words. What does this word mean? Like just now I mentioned, pengetahuan is ilmu. Jemu is bosan. So in the story, bahan satu, bahan dua, you have bosan. What is the meaning? A, B, C, D. Bosan is jemu, feeling bored, or something is boring. So analysis, so I mentioned all, and I've mentioned structure, ayat, structure, ayat, so I've almost mentioned all. So one thing I would like to inform you is that for year 4, 5 and 6, you need to know 20 different types of grammar, like ayat active, ayat passive. I just give examples. Active and passive voice. Just now I mentioned imbuhan. Tanda bacaan, punctuation. Penjodoh bilangan. Bandingan semacam, which is called similes. And ayat penyata, ayat majmuk. All these are parts of grammar. All together 20. For year 4, year 5 and year 6. You need to know 20. Okay, so that's all for this time. I believe I have enlightened you and given you an insight into our Bahasa Melayu paper, UASA, which is actually challenging. Okay, and if you want to buy my books, which are in English, grammar, you can WhatsApp to me. And remember to give me a like, share, and subscribe to my video, to my YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video where I will explain to you bahagian B. Tata bahasa dan pemahaman, but in writing form, not ABC. No more MCQ. It only appears in bahagian A. Okay, so good night everyone. Goodbye everyone.